we're down in Sweetwater, Texas, and we watch your show, or we, like to pick up a magazine when we're in Austin, and so it's just you really don't realize your spectrum of influence until you actually hear it once in a while. And I know that the culture in Austin is, very ripe for this kind of thing.
Definitely.
And Austin's a very special place when it comes to the plant. I think it's part of the nomenclature of the city of Austin. It's very strong right now. A lot of interest in Texas, and that's a positive thing. Everybody on the outside is watching Texas, right? Wanting to see what policymakers do here.
It's the Texas Growers Podcast, and we have the Blazed magazine in the house. We got Russell, Rachel, and Carl in person, who's not an alien today. He's in the flesh, sitting right next to me.
Yep, not an alien today.
But we want to get to know these guys, their journey, and we want to talk about media in Texas hemp and cannabis and how important these folks have been to that. They've been pioneering for quite some time. And it's full circle now because I'm just now coming off of being on your show. And now you guys are here so that we can continue to cross-pollinate. So if you haven't subscribed to Blaze Weekly News and the Texas Growers Podcast, please do that right now. So I'm going to go around, let everybody introduce themselves. We can start with Carl, and we'll save the best for last over here. So
I don't know about that. That's the best side of the room over there. That's the truth.
My name's Carl. Just been working with Russell in Blaze Mag. Well, now we're formally Blaze Magazine, but we started off as the Texas Hemp Reporter, and did that for quite a few years. And just being in the space of cannabis is always fun, and I just enjoy it. And it's a journey. It's a plan. It takes you places.
Yeah, and don't forget, Carl, he underestimates himself. He doesn't brag on himself enough because he's the one responsible for our really cool graphics that you see on the show.
Yeah.
He's Adobe After Effects.
The entire show's aesthetic is his fault.
There you go. Yeah,
so he's a big part of the creative process with what we do.
I think it's easier to be an alien sometimes than just,
I mean, it's you got to be talented to turn yourself into an alien.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for folks that don't know, he's figured out a way to inject himself into the show, Colton, but not be himself in the show. So, so the little alien is as we refer to Carl now. It's still Carl, but it's just the character.
What planet do you say I'm from?
Zeta Reticuli. I think you got that Zeta Gray look. You know.
Well, Carl likes to be behind the scenes for sure, but he's very instrumental, very important to the show.
So who is this?
So I'm Rachel. I'm Rachel. Yeah, I co-host the podcast Blaze Weekly News, and I also contribute to the magazine as a writer. Russell and I go way back. I was reporting as a young reporter for Weird Magazine in San Marcos, Texas at one time. So then I saw on Facebook that he had started the Texas Hemp Reporter, and I reconnected with him and said, hey, do you need writers? And then it all just kind of went from there. Now I'm co-hosting the show, and we have a really good time and a really important mission that we're all very passionate about. So
yeah. When I met Rachel in San Marcos, I think you were a mass comm major at Texas State, and I had an office inside what's now the radio station there, the public station, which is K something SM. It's the radio station in San Marcos, but at the time it was a podcast studio, and we had a show in there that we did. But yeah, Rachel and I have worked together since 2010 or 11 when we first met, and so. But I've been publishing magazines for 20 years or so, and we kind of landed into this cannabis space when we wanted to. We heard that hemp was coming to the Lone Star State in 2020, and I didn't quite believe it, but I was being recruited, Colton, to sell seeds for a farm in Colorado that wanted to recruit me to sell Texas farmers seeds. And I was not very interested in selling the seeds, but I was interested in who was going to cover the new hemp industry in 2020 from a media perspective. And that's kind of what led to the Texas Hemp Reporter. And here we are in 2025, rebranded to Blazed Magazine and Blaze Weekly News. So
yes, and I think the Blazed Weekly News rebrand is a bullseye shot for what we were needing. Like, you have to come out of the evolution of hemp. All of our brands did it. The magazine has done it. Like, at first it was brand new. It was pretty industrial, I would say. At first,
Yeah.
it was very like, we're very like, is this really the culture? Or we got to kind of start working on making that culture. And now that it's here, this is obviously fits like a glove. Like, it's all.
And you're real friendly with, of course, Jeremy Greens. Now, Jeremy, when we started Blazed back in January, I asked Jeremy to do a grower's column. And so he's been the first one. And I'd like to throw that out there. Maybe if there's any other growers that, especially on this podcast, I was talking to Eric at Champs. At Organics. Eric, we thought about maybe inviting him to do at least write a grower. But Jeremy really gravitated to the idea of Blazed early. Yeah. He said, Russell, this is cool. This is culture. We need this. Yep. And I'm on board. And he's been a great contributor all year long.
Well, I mean, I say that from experience because this started as Puff and Prosper, which was like, I was going to make it more of like a business, like just business thing, talk entrepreneurship. And like, I don't know, it just was very limited and the branding wasn't right. And I didn't want to talk about business. I wanted to talk about the culture and growers, and I want to talk to like other people. And so, I had to rebrand it as well. And I think we're seeing that now. Like,
well, we're not the only ones that have done that. You and I aren't the only ones that are. A lot of people are doing it.
A lot. But that's because the community and the culture is here now, and we can. There's enough of it to where we can say like, oh, let's do it this way, so we can tailor it towards that.
What we felt was, I felt as a magazine publisher, especially 23, 24, you could really see it. There was more, we were covering more culture as this kind of hemp industry magazine, which we really were, we felt like we were an industry tabloid or an industry journalistic piece. We just got more and more fun, and we kind of outgrew the conformity that was the Texas Hemp Reporter with all this blossom of culture. And I think we got more flower and more fun, and it just kind of, we had to get out of that. And I think this is a little more like my old days and like Weird Magazine was, and 15, 20 years ago. So this is a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Like everything has come down to this point, Russell, just the Blaze magazine with all your stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool. We've talked about that. It's a good point. Blaze being a little bit of Texas Hemp Reporter, a little bit of Weird, a little bit of, we talked about Rockstar magazine that I used to publish out in the hall earlier. And so, it really is. This is kind of a culmination of different things that we've published over the years. So it's a lot of fun. Heck, we got Champs trade shows on the cover of the new September issue. We've been hanging out down there. Saw you on Tuesday down there, as well as Rachel. And it's just a lot of fun.
Texas is definitely on the scene. Champs is not here just once, but twice. They're coming back again already. So Texas is on the scene for sure. So.
Really? When is the next date?
January.
Interesting.
Wow. Good.
Yeah, the rebrand really, from my perspective, just opened up. It broadened the range of topics that are relevant. So, we've dipped into like music and comedy and
there's a comic strip in there.
Yeah, you got a little comic, and then we have comedy.
Comedy, Victor.
Right? Victor's in there. So we've had one of the first comics we profiled was De La Stoner. You've got our friend from Dallas with the cartoon, is Roach and Bud. Troy. So we know who's got influence in the state. Has been covering this since the Texas Hemp Reporter days, and so. We got Jeremy. We got, we kind of just added a little bit of everybody onto the menu here, and it's kind of made it a lot of fun. And heck, you're part of the family.
Yes. Well, that's what I was going to talk about is the media side. I quickly realized that there was a lapse in like you said, who's going to cover all of this? Who's going to be at all the events? Who's going to be touring grows? Who's going to vlog this stuff? Like, we have to start these platforms so that people can do podcast circuits and promote their brand. But I really quickly realized I was going to be less of go talk to my homies and more of a news platform because of that gap.
Yeah.
And has snowballed. And that's where a lot of the momentum for the channel too is like, it's not so much because I got better. It's because I was consistent when the trend started to happen. I think you guys understand that too. Like when, like once there was this attack and a need for information, people started searching it. So all of our SEO and all of our efforts and all of our consistency started popping up, and people latched onto that. And then they were ready for more when our next videos dropped, and it's just snowballed that way. And the media thing is so important. And that's why you guys are here too, because I want people to know there's even more outlets than just me. And I want Texas Hemp Reporter and Blaze Weekly News people to know that there's more than just the magazine. There's a whole culture and a whole community and a network really of places to get different information, different styles, different topics.
And that's what's cool about it, is that there's different styles. Like you were on our radar since we've been watching you. And I think there's other guys that are out there. We see what the Hometown Hero guys do, and we're all friendly with Liz and Patrick and what they've got going, and watch their stuff. And but yeah, it's definitely good that there's a variety out there. We've just been fortunate to be one of the ones doing it for 5 years now. Next month, so we've been doing this a while. But it's great to come on and cross-pollinate with one another.
And hats off for you guys making it that long, because it's not easy. Most people, they die off after 10 episodes, after 20, 50, 100.
It's true.
And so to do it for that many years consistently is
we're
not easy.
Paying off now.
Well, what are we? 231 was Monday. So
so you're already
230 was where we're at on the shows. And when you're weekly, there's 50 shows a year, basically. Shit. So if we're at that, coming up on that 250 mark by the end of the year.
Yeah,
but,
that's serious.
That's
off to you guys. Seriously. like I mean, between me, Paul, and Julia, like we're pumping these out like every couple of weeks, maybe every month or whatever. And it's still like between everything else we do is a hustle. So I know it's not. You got to have that commitment and stuff to talk about. That's not always easy. People think it's easy to just like go. You can't just spew. Like that's another thing I've learned by doing this. Now it's even more important. Like if people are actually watching, you can't just talk into the void. You actually have to like do something.
I can appreciate that more than most, because I don't like to spew either, and I like to have a guest on, and and there'll be times even if a guest cancels, we'll just rebook another guest, or we'll just take off that week. This week we're actually off, I think, because of champs.
Yeah.
But no, I don't like to get on there and just totally unscripted, and I just don't like it to be me. If I've got someone to BS with me a little, then we can do that. But Aaron Owen, he's great. Like Aaron at Tejas, we had him on a few weeks ago. Nothing is scripted terribly ever with Aaron. He's just a great guy, knows culture, knows the industry, and just a lot of fun to talk with. But
we do have a lot of characters out there.
We do, don't we? Texas full of them.
That's what makes us so fun. Is like who gets to sit across from me. But like again, going back to the radio show days, your history with all of that. I mean, so the way that this show started really was because I actually got to see someone that was very involved in radio, like very, very upfront, and I was really trying to like get more involved and learn more from them. And the little tidbits I did learn were very inspiring. And then that person actually they passed away before I could really like dig into more.
Oh, goodness.
And so I really was like, okay, I can do this. Like I see it. I get it. You can, if you can talk, if you can get the trends, if you can entertain people, keep their ear or their eyes and whatever, that's something you can go for and make a business off of. And so he was doing something down in Galveston, like a little Galveston radio deal. So I was very inspired by that. And I knew that was kind of like my next thing. Like I was coming out of college and like sports and all that. And I was like, I need something to pour all this into. And I was inspired by that whole radio personality, lifestyle and stuff. I'm like, how do I do that without going to communications college and getting a job as an intern and then being a sideshow and all this stuff, right? And so that's why I wanted to do the podcast out, because then I started to see the way that the new age of like YouTube and internet was going. I'm like, if I can just get something out there and start recording, use my iPhone, use a little microphone that I have from Guitar Center or whatever, and just start, that will, I think, snowball, and we can just start building a community around that. But radio was my big inspiration for this whole like chaotic journey that I've been on.
Well,
And
that was my path. I was a young sales executive selling advertising in terrestrial radio, but a friend of mine asked me to come in one day on the air and start talking about sports on the rock station. And this was during the 5 o'clock drive home time part of the day. And so my buddy Mike Quinn, shout out, Mike's out in LA now. But Mike had me come on, and I just kind of had the headset on and got bit with that radio, and really migrated to the fun of it. You know, it's fun to get on there and be engaging and talk. But I did end up with DJ opportunities too in my young career. But I never went to school for radio. Like back then, you just kind of got a break. Like somebody gave you your break, and you had to be lucky. And and that was kind of. And I did go to school at ACC in Austin and did a little bit of communication when I was younger. But I had already been in radio on the air prior to going to school, so that helped. You know, it is really cool that today here we are. You're telling me we're in one of the coolest studios in Austin, and you don't have to have that radio, you know, that blessing from the radio gods to get into traditional terrestrial radio. I still buy the airtime because I'm from that era, and I grew up as a legacy media and newspaper and radio, and so I still think I like to be relevant on the radio for those old reasons, but it's a lot of fun now that we can do all this without being on the radio necessarily. So
we can say whatever we want.
We don't have to bleep. We can curse if we want to. I still try not to curse because I buy the airtime on ESPN. But
like the style of being on your show was really cool, immersive experience because it is like a radio show. You know, it's the commercial breaks and all this stuff it's cool, and it's for weed. It's for our community. It's for like the industry in Texas, and it's relevant. So it was really
well. That's cool really. I think I could see model. I could see when you were on the show with us that you were like, you're a radio guy,
right? And
we have the commercials, and I like to play the bed music and come in and out of breaks. It's a lot of fun doing that, and that's just it's just part of it. Somebody left a comment, Rachel, on the show on one of our shows recently, and they said, you know, y'all play that music for about 30 to 40 seconds before y'all start talking. You almost lost me on the podcast, and I had to go in there and I responded, well, you know, we are a radio show on ESPN Saturday mornings, so
can also fast forward.
That's what I said too. You
can for real.
You can fast forward anytime you want to the best part.
I watch Kill Tony a lot. I've never watched his ad set in the beginning. I'm like, first comedian. All right, let's go.
I love Kill Tony too.
It's funny.
Yeah, just fast forward, dude.
Just fast forward.
And then like some of that stuff, like being on the radio, having ad spots, that's what keeps it alive. So you're like, you don't like the ad, you don't like the music, you don't like the dead space, but that's all for something, and that's what keeps it alive. So if you like the entertainment or the content, it's a little small price to pay for having someone produce a show. It really is,
because that's what, like, right now we're part right now where we're renewing advertisers for our fall ESPN show, and it takes a commitment from the business community to support what you're doing, to get it out, to publish a 72-page tabloid magazine and make it available free in Austin like this, and San Antonio and Houston. It takes advertisers. So, you can fast forward through those ads, but you know, it's important that you also, you know, support them, because without them, we don't have it.
And they're great. Like, you're going to be exposed to great brands that you should know about their products and go check them out.
And I love that too, because like when I look for ad partners, it's people that I like and that I'm going to benefit my audience too. It's not just who has the largest check. I've already turned down plenty of people that I didn't think you aligned with like me or my brands or not my brands, my audience, and that brand was not like the right fit. So that's what I really like about this space of an advertising. And people ask, how can I support you, bro? How can I support you? Like, go buy some product from the small businesses that we represent and we support and that run ads with us, because they can't get to you anywhere else. That's why they're running ads with us. They can't just run an ad on Facebook. Sometimes they can't buy billboards in certain areas from certain companies. Like, it's hard for them to get exposure. So yeah, if you want to support my show, Russell's show, these guys, like, buy from those brands that are advertising and trying to reach you, because they're usually small local businesses behind it, right? Or at least very good businesses behind it if they're larger.
Yeah,
so.
it's a lot of small ones, a lot of medium ones. We occasionally get the bigger brands. I know that Looper's in here this month, but you get a little bit of everybody. I got to say, honestly, it's the little guys that keep you. The little guys add up, and
because the little guys see the biggest impact. Like a big company throws money for the one ad, they're like, whatever. If we get something, we get something. The little guys, if they throw money for an ad and they get 1, 2, 3 people through that say, "Oh, I saw you in this magazine," they're gonna dance around for the whole day and like, "Yes, it's working," and they're gonna come back.
Right.
So the bigger impact is with the smaller guys. That's why I like to like prop up different brands on this, with like even 454 Bags. They look like a big company and they support the show, but it's a handful of real cannabis dudes that are here for you, So that's why I back them and use them. And I'm sure it's the same for you guys. Yeah. But that's like number one way to support shows and support all this content. Like I didn't charge these guys to come on my show. They didn't pay me for the exposure. Like just use us as a platform to get exposure to these brands and do business with them. Give them a try. They deserve your time and attention at least once.
And not only that, like the video, share the video.
Like, share, subscribe,
if you like it, share it. Yeah, it helps the algorithm. It helps show us to more people.
And we need comments, because this is my next topic I want to get into, is when I talked about becoming quickly like less of a podcast and more of like a channel, like a news information spreading channel. There's a lot of good highlights and exciting news. There's also some not so positive news, some uncomfortable news. And so I know Notorious is notorious for kind of talking about the edgier stuff.
Right.
And I definitely, I think coming up, there's going to be some people sit across from me that they're going to have to answer some hard hitting questions. It's not gotcha. It's not to undercut you. It's just like maybe what you said and what people think is not what you meant. So here's the platform for that. And so I like having those more difficult conversations. And I definitely see that you have like the itch for uncovering
investigative journalism.
And it's also a woman's intuition. Seriously.
Right. Oh my gosh. Good point.
A lot of times I'm like, I think these people are gonna screw me over, and Julia's like, they're definitely gonna screw you over. I can tell. I had a dream about it.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, okay,
that's so funny.
We're out.
That's my channel that I do separately, the notorious.tv. You can find it if you search the Notorious and spell out .tv on YouTube. So I've done some investigative pieces, and I've exposed, some Texas politicians and things like that. And that's why journalism and what we're all doing, especially in this new era where, anyone can have a YouTube channel, but it's not easy. I mean, your content still has to be good and useful, or you're not going to grow an audience. So journalism is just so important, because when I was in journalism school, one of my teachers who I loved so much, Mike Haynes, shout out, but he said, he taught us that journalism and the free press it's like a fourth branch of government. It's a check and balance. Yep. And so, especially this legislative session, we've seen like it's so important to hold these lawmakers accountable and to expose like the crooked, shady things that they're doing, because they should work for us and they're elected. So,
totally. And what I actually said on the panel at Champs was that, of course, there were people that were more of a face to this movement, charging at the front. But there was a lot of folks behind us that allowed us to be there. And part of that is all of the folks that were proliferating information, from Notorious to Blaze to Texas Growers Podcast to Hometown Hero. And if you combine all of our views, I mean, we're getting viewership of the likes of a major radio, major TV station. And, that kind of power and ability to reach people and expose things or provide alternate viewpoints or information is super powerful. And I think we're seeing that. If you see it, like, look at how all this played out. It's not just because people wrote a letter. It's not just because some people showed up at the Capitol at the right time. All that was great. But we also had we only get 2 minutes at the Capitol. You know what I mean? So after that, we have to proliferate this story of our side of things and the truth, our side of the truth at least. And that's really like, also we were cutting shorts like on the rail of the House floor, the Senate floor. I mean, as these people are spewing bullshit, we're cutting the clip from the live stream and we're posting it with articles or things that are proving them wrong. And that is powerful. The cracks start to form with the people of Texas nonetheless the government, you know.
Yeah, and it's cool for people on the other end, like following you know, the industry on Instagram, being able to see it unfold in real time. Like, you know, maybe you personally can't go to the Capitol that day, but you can still just be getting like up to the minute news.
And well, another thing I just to interject is all of this legal drama has really attributed to our rise in viewership and people becoming more aware of your podcast, our podcast. And I mentioned this to, I don't know if it was Aaron or somebody who was on the show in recent weeks, but you know, the longer they keep making these sessions go, the stronger and more unity our industry has had. And this has really galvanized the hemp industry, right? I mean, haven't you felt that this year?
We've not only grown on the channel with notoriety and with our entire industry, but more people know about THC, legal THC, quality THC in Texas now than ever. And yeah, as the longer the special session went and the more they attacked us, the more that people knew. And the longer that went, the more we were able to sell status quo business as usual. Yeah. And the more money we made on the brand side. And like that, we were seeing that across the board, that all this hype, good and bad, you know, this war. And also I think people saw it as like an attack on my freedom. So it's also like, oh, what? You say I can't buy this? Let me go see what this is about. Let me go buy it. You know what?
Yeah.
Screw the man, you know, like let me go see. It's counterculture at the end of the day, right? So we saw a lot of that. It really helped us. I think and here's the thing. I'm going to have, here's my next exposition. So going to like the exposing things in the industry or whatever, but I mean, the amount of coverage that Hometown Hero has gotten from this shit is absolutely unbelievable, and I refuse to believe that it's not a conspiracy. So here's my Alex Jones InfoWars moment. I'm gonna have a spotlight on me and a spotlight on Lucas over there, and just be like, dude, how is Dan Patrick picking up your product? How is your little hometown backpack in the background of all the testimonies? Like, how is your product being thrown? How are you getting the t-shirts? How are you getting?
Something's going on there, Lucas.
That's not
product
placement.
You're onto something.
But he's also like the walking human trigger of all the politicians. So I want to like sit down and be like, you know, is that a conspiracy? Did you set all this up just to like explode this industry even more? Because it's
funny. I think he got really that way. I think he got really lucky. Is probably
it's divine. Every time you look at this, whether it's with something with Lucas and Hometown or something with the industry or how things fall, it's like divine intervention every single time. We're down to the wire, or we need that one last push and we get it, or somebody screws up and we get an injunction, and like it's always there's some sort of divine intervention, which is crazy.
It has been. I agree with you in that sense. That's very interesting that you point that out, because we have had some windfalls that have come through in the last 5 years, but you know, some of these things are coming up. We've got I guess they got a rule on this dishes thing is coming up in September. There's some things federally there's movement there that we're all kind of watching, but the main thing is that we got out of this session. Now the governor's got an age gating measure, and then there's some
rulemaking.
There's some rulemaking potentialities there, but I'm happy with the result of what we've got. You know, and defeating these ban bills. I mean, that's a win for the industry.
I love winning.
Yeah,
I love winning.
Don't we all?
Winning is good.
I love winning. Winning's good. But and again, it contributes to what we're all doing. I mean, and the other thing is we go out to these events this week, being in town for Champs and for an expo and stuff, and you go to these events and you see how deep this community is. And everyone who's come here has basically explained to me, like, I've never seen anything like this for cannabis or hemp in any other market.
Interesting.
And it's just what we have here is unique and true and genuine, and we're definitely on the right track. And it attests to people who have put out for 5+ years, long before I ever had the idea to do this or ever turn on the microphone, and people who have just shown up when they needed to and been leaders, you know, and it sets us up for success, and we are a part of that. We've definitely made history. So cheers to you guys.
Cheers
for
to
being a part of that, because it's definitely something big and hasn't been done before. This media push, the largest media push we've ever seen for Texas hemp or cannabis or THC in history, and I don't look for it to be the last, but it's so pro cannabis right now.
Yeah, and I think it's the culture. You know, we've we've all contributed to this, and look, the people have spoken. They want this plant all over the country. The federal government is starting to finally take notice. There's talk of descheduling cannabis. The progress that Europe has made with this plant, in other countries, it's finally happening. But kudos. I will say that because I'm from Austin, I know that the culture in Austin is very ripe for this kind of thing.
Definitely.
And so Austin's very a very special place when it comes to the plant, I think. And I think it's part of the nomenclature of the city of Austin. And so it doesn't surprise me when you hear brands like Looper and Austin's our biggest market in Texas. Austin's a big market for all of these products in this industry. So
absolutely.
We're fortunate there, but it's great. San Antonio has its own cool little vibe of cult cannabis. We've witnessed that when we've gone down there and done podcasts at Green Botanicals or done events at Santa Cana, and each city has their own kind of style, and it's really cool to be part of all of it.
Yeah, it's cool when we do an event and our audience recognizes what we're doing and come over and just congratulate us and just take a magazine, just take a picture with our booth. And
you don't really realize the influence that you have until you go to another town and you meet somebody at an event that says, hey, we're down in Sweetwater, Texas, and we watch your show, or we like to pick up a magazine when we're in Austin. And so it's just you really don't realize your spectrum of influence until you actually hear it once in a while. And so it's kind of
heard it
cool.
A lot this week.
And this week's
Champs parties, like someone at Champs even said, I recognize your voice. Like they said that they'll play the show like in the background while they're working or whatever.
That's so funny.
And he didn't recognize me from seeing me immediately, but he's like, oh yeah, so you're with Blazed. Okay, I do recognize your voice.
Yeah.
And I apologize to some people that people come up to me sometimes and recognize me and say, hey, Russell. And I'm like, you are exactly again who, or maybe they're just a fan, or something like that. But
it's very energizing, though. I mean, people are like, "How are you giving so much time and energy to this?" And I'm like, "Dude, because like all these people they deserve this. If they can't, like, send me, I'll go."
It doesn't feel like work to me.
It doesn't feel like
work.
No,
it doesn't.
I've never been tired in this whole deal.
Yeah.
There's a listener that subscribed to the magazine on a paid subscription recently. He's in Waco, and he called or texted me yesterday, and he was like, hey, Russell, can you spare 2 or 3 bundles of the magazine? I'd love to meet you and get some out in the smoke shops in Waco. So on Saturday, I'm going to drive to Belton at that Buc-ee's, and he's coming down from Waco. And anyway, that's just a cool part of this. You're really in this we're in this for business, but we're also in it for the advocacy part of it. And I think people see that and they see that it's genuine.
Yep.
And so I'm happy to meet this guy and who's one of our subscribers, and we're going to go give him 3, I don't know, 100, 200 copies of the magazine so that he can drop them off at smoke shops in the Waco area. I think that's cool.
Expansion.
Yeah. There
always.
you go.
Always expansion. Yeah, there's a lot coming for the Texas market, and I'm excited for what we will get to cover and what we will get into. And I want to keep the collaboration between the 2 channels alive and well, because this is not an easy thing to do with a team or not, So we all can benefit from, of course, cross collaboration, but even sharing assets and resharing posts and all the stuff that we've started to do. So definitely want to continue that now that we've started. In the future, because this stuff is not over. I mean, we have the 21 and up thing that is effective. We have rulemaking that's going to happen, and the government works slow, but they also, rulemaking can be influenced. It can be molded and influenced over time, and that's what we're going to start to do now. And we're still going to need a media arm and all of the media platforms to continue to reach people and get those touch points out there of what is happening, because there's going to be a lot, and it's very confusing. Civics is confusing. Politics is confusing and off-putting for a lot of people these days. Hemp and cannabis is a different conversation. So we have to always make sure that we're on the forefront of pushing through that noise.
And just to toot your horn, I'm just going to commend you on your influence. You've been major.
Thank you.
I really applaud you for what you've done. I'm an older generation and come from broadcasting, but I mean, man, you're out there. You're really in the trenches, Colt. You're in there talking to the lawmakers,
the governor, even.
You know, speaking to the governor, even if it be as a fly on the wall, like you said on our show. But you know, you were in there, and then you know, so thank you for speaking on behalf of our fellow Texans, because you know, I've gone down there and given written testimony and given magazines. I haven't spoken yet to the lawmakers yet. I don't know that they would like what I have to say personally. I might go off.
Well, we thank you for knowing better. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah,
people don't. I just let it rip.
Yeah, I think some industry don't want me to go down there and say anything. That might not be good. But no, thank you, because you have done a great job of going down there and giving them good insight, especially that time with Lucas and you and the other.
Oh, and Joel.
Joel, yeah. I saw Joel on Tuesday, by the way. But yeah, just kudos to your work on the advocacy side this year. You've been very vocal, and you should be acknowledged for that, especially from my team. And I think you've done a good job of that.
A lot of people don't realize what it takes to go to the Capitol. And then, people like you and others in the industry have done it multiple times, like every time. And, it's like you have to be there. You have to sign up. You have to wait all day, sometimes until the early hours of the next morning to, it might take until you're called. So
totally.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Well, we got a lot to fight for. It makes it easy.
Yeah, true.
And so that's what we always say. And I like that. Hey, pick that up.
Sorry, that was my alarm. I'm awake.
I don't care.
He's awake.
We have a lot that we've done with the youth too, like bridging the gap from like the OGs and the new generation and then being in the middle, and so that was very important to me too. And I think a lot of people are also seeing that you can get into this industry. Like if you have a dream and you got some hustle and some energy, you can get in the mix, start meeting people, start working, start building a brand. It's an open season, and don't be afraid to go stand up for what you want and what you believe in, because obviously it makes a difference. We didn't even think twice when it came to coming down to the Capitol and speaking up against bans and for all of our veterans and Texans and every walk of life. We didn't think twice, and sometimes it was the most fun we had all week, really, just going down there and getting that 2 minutes in and getting the energy of everyone, documenting it, getting the energy of everyone going. And that's what inevitably got us the grassroots movement that was successful and, got us the attention of the governor. We had an election swaying amount of people, and we had big influence that they recognized. And that's what landed us in that office for that meeting. And that meeting was also very productive because I made sure to let them know, the youth is paying attention now. You struck a chord with something that the younger generations, the 30-year-olds with families that are just starting, the 20-year-olds out of college, these adults that don't drink alcohol as much, they don't smoke tobacco like mom and dad, they don't do those things. They're using hemp products, they're using THC and CBD products. That generation is paying attention. And so guess what happens when they see that hemp is attacked? They start watching the live streams, and then they see that there's all these other issues that are getting pushed through on them. And so now they're involved in politics. They're not just involved for hemp. They're involved in politics. And so now we've had this awakening of people who are otherwise not invested or not interested or not in tune with everything that know now how important it is, because it affects me, either my personal lives, my freedoms, or my family, my children, whatever the issue may be. And that's something that was very powerful from this movement. And that's what a lot of people that have come up to me have said is like, dude, I didn't pay attention to any of this. And now I do because of how important you made it. And that's to me, that's bigger than him. That's going to help Texas. And that, and like, it goes back to more of that history made is like, this was a huge deal.
Yeah. Well, it's freedom. Deal. It's Texans value their limited government. Yes. They value their freedoms. They value, privacy. And, an issue like cannabis is polarizing. I mean, it's not a red or blue issue, as Sergi often says. This is a purple issue, but I think that it really struck a chord. Yeah. The song and dance that we were sold by Charles Perry and Dan Patrick this spring and summer has put a noose around their necks politically, and we'll see where.
Except that Charles Perry has been a senator for 12 years, and he's never been no one's ever ran against him. Yeah. So it's like we don't have a choice. Like someone needs to step up and run against him, because I think they could easily win. And it's unfortunate that someone that nobody really likes is in that position.
Politics is not attractive to good people, unfortunately.
True.
So it's always hard. But yeah, you got to pick your poison with that. But his time will come. That's what a lot of this, I think, is we're seeing a change. Like I said, the youth is taking over, even on the farming side. The farmers, that want to do hemp are farmers that are young men taking over dad and grandpa's agriculture business. They want a cash crop. They want to make money. They have the access to information. They're not afraid to do something new. They don't want to just get by. And so farming is very thankless. And so if you can give them a cash crop as a thank you and keep cannabis cultivation in the agriculture department, it's going to be really massively beneficial to all of our food, clothing, textile materials, and cannabinoids. It's going to be a very beneficial thing. And then that all this is changing. The youth is definitely awakening, and they latch on to things that are cool, trendy, magazines, YouTube channels, controversial shorts that they see about a pesky senator doing something nefarious. So they like, people really want that, and that's where everyone's attention is going. And it's all become so much bigger than hemp recently. It's become really like a movement and a true community with a force behind it. And we did get camps every time that we had to show up. Like this was camp on exactly how to activate politically and be involved and make change. And then it was also like a little mini expo because everybody's in the waiting room, everybody's in the lobby, everybody's waiting around, everybody's going to lunch. So we just kept getting stronger, kept getting better, kept getting more and more developed as a community. And I think it's
and everybody's starting to get to know each other more, I think that's important too. And so, if they would have put a third session, look out. Everybody just look more closer and closer.
Look out during rulemaking, man. I mean, we're going to go attack rulemaking in the same way. There's going to be some public aspects of that, and then there's going to be some lobbying aspects of that, and we plan to go in both with a prong attack and make sure that we get what we want. Continue this winning streak of protecting this, because we have a lot. I mean, you guys have been around for the whole entire experience, especially on the media side. I've been around for basically the whole entire experience in building brands and partnering with Jeremy and edibles and all these other things. So I've seen virtually every consumer, every market, every ups and downs. And so everyone that's here, we deserve to be here. And I hope that everyone stays around for quite some time, and getting stronger is going to help that. So
yeah, I mean, not everybody, there's a lot of brands that started in 2020 that, people fizzled out. And I know that I've seen that with the Texas Hemp Reporter as a publication. People have come and gone, but it's very strong right now. I mean, it's things are really a lot of interest in Texas, and so that's a positive thing. Everybody on the outside is watching Texas, right? Wanting to see what policymakers do here, because again, it's such a big market for some of the brands outside of Texas that they want to see Texas stay strong. So hopefully we will.
Make sure you guys check out Texarkana Organics. They are a small local business out of Houston, Texas that is innovating the edible scene. They have small batch craft products like their space cakes, their craft chocolates. They just came out with these bird feeders. This is the terpene infused gold edition gummy. These honestly are one of the best gummy experiences on the market right now. And the terpene actually adds to the entourage effect. So you get a little bit more of a full effect and experience whenever you choose Texarkana Organics. So if you guys have a retail, or if you're just looking for something to put by your coffee maker for daily use, check out these bird feeders. You get one now. Go to texarkanaorganics.com or comment below, and we will get your email and information. I don't share anything on this channel that I don't use and I don't trust. texarkanaorganics.com.
It's important to note, support the small local businesses. Go to your local dispensaries and shops and find people that are right for you, that help you, that know a lot about this industry and these products. Don't just go to the local convenience store and buy something that you saw first. Get invested in what you're consuming and who you're buying from and who you're supporting, especially at the time like this, because a lot of people put time, money, and a lot of effort into fighting for this industry. Not to mention, a lot of people put a lot of time, money, and effort into their products, and others don't. So a lot of times when you find a small local business, they're making products with Texans in mind. They're not just making products with the 25 cent per unit margin that they have. And that's really important to note. And I know, obviously, with you guys doing a lot of exposure and advertising, like I definitely want to show love to a lot of the Texas-based businesses right now, lift them up, especially those who fought on the front lines. And, maybe they're a little bit more expensive, but, they're a local company that those few dollars more go so much further. So,
yeah.
And also if you're looking to advertise, check out the Texas Grows Podcast and Blaze Weekly News.
That's right.
For some amazing opportunities. This guy's literally in every shop, literally. And it's free. So there's no friction of like, oh, will people pick it up? It's literally free.
And we have a website.
And they have a website.
Banner ads.
And they have a show.
Yeah.
They're covering all the bases.
Multimedia advertising packages, 100%.
I think it's challenging, for a younger generation. I mean, when I started, we didn't have TikTok and cell phones. Right. And, when I was in radio and started publishing magazines like Weird Magazine, we didn't have all this social media stuff. So there was really nothing cool to gravitate to. So, having a magazine or a news product that covered counterculture was pretty rare back 20 years ago. Today, we have a lot of different things to compete with. And now we have to have a relevant podcast, news websites, social media. Man, I got more social media. I got social media coming out my ears, but you have to have all those tools for your platform. And we're just grateful we're still around and trying to influence culture and have fun at the same time.
Well, I have the certain editions that have certain covers and themes, like the Reefer Madness one. I have that one, and I'm going to frame
item.
it. Yeah, I'm literally going to frame it because I have. So I have the.
We're real proud of that one. That one was a lot of fun.
That whole Dan entire Patrick, edition. Yep.
Chainsaw Massacre.
It's Reefer Madness really big. So since we had our own run at that, I have the action figure with him holding up the things. I bought that from the artist in the Philippines. I got the Reefer Madness one and a few other like keepsakes and stuff, and like the little ribbons and everything, and I'm just gonna put it up like in my office, kind of like on the wall, my governor photos and everything. Yes. So it's it's great to have something like tangible and in print, even though today is such a digital era.
I know, I love that.
It is that's what keeps me going. But speaking of something kind of gimmicky, did you see the picture of the Hometown Hero has the Dan Patrick's
and he's
cardboard?
That was a little guy.
I think they confused his height with Charles Perry.
I was next to David Sergi over there on Tuesday, and I got a video of me. Hey, Dan, you're looking a little thin there. How you feeling after this last session or two? Didn't get things done like you wanted. But anyway, just poking at the bear a little there. But good to see that kind of humor, even from our friends there at Hometown Hero.
What's next for this whole team with Blaze Weekly News, Notorious, all of y'all's projects?
I don't know. I'm grateful for Carl, for Rachel. I got to say, we try to keep this thing going every week, and right now the magazine is moving in. We're just hoping, like, let's get through all of this this kind of chaos that we've been in with the legislature and get things moving as an industry. But for us, I mean, right now we're going to go through football season, try to keep the shows on ESPN coming out. We'll continue to push the envelope and have industry members come on the show and try to have fun with it. But the magazine is in this new format. This is kind of new. If you've seen the one, the Reefer Madness was our glossy product, which we were for years. But we went to this recent tabloid thing kind of to try to mix it up a little. And I don't know. I think people like the newsprint idea. It's a pretty slick looking. We publish or print these with the community impact. So it's a real nice white paper and a little bigger than that other 8.5 by 11 gloss. But I'm kind of I've been a tabloid publisher for most of my career, and I like these. So we tried this. This is kind of new for us.
I like that newspaper feel.
Yeah, I do. Like it's nostalgic.
And the older you get, like me, like the bigger the pages, the easier it is to read. I got to put those readers on, Colton.
It's so cool to see like the whole community in this too, because you got like Jeremy's Grow column, you got Stone Slade, you got Victor Martinez, High Tonight Show, which is a great show, by the way. Yeah, all these great columns from folks.
Yeah, we need to get you in there. Why don't we have a Growers podcast column in the magazine?
Let me do. What are those anonymous things like you?
A pen name or something.
Yeah, like you write into me and I give you advice anonymously. I would love to do one of those because I'm a shit talker and I don't want to shit talk on someone else's thing. I have plenty of.
I think it's
time to do that.
Like important to know too, because like we're always on our phones, on our computers, doing something, and then with the magazine, it's a tangible. We can hold it. You could like feel it. You can look at it again, like it's kind of
nostalgic. Yeah,
I tell people you can roll
cool
on it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was our trade.
Totally.
It's very functional.
With the advertisers. Some of them come on our show, depends on what we work out, and so it's a whole like full circle of business that we work on.
And we've been getting a little edgier too with stuff. We've been throwing in a little bit of a little culture and paranormal. I'm a big paranormal guy, and I love throwing that. In fact, I published InfoWars magazine for Alex, and that was a part of my Weird magazine days, and so we like to mix in a little fun in there as well. We got the music is coming in more often now. So if you're a band, or if you're a band that has a sports cannabis, email us.
Yeah,
like we would love to hear from you if you're a band and you we try to bring in the topic of cannabis with the bands that we interview. There's a really good one in here with Amplified Heat's a local rock band in Austin, and they comment on how overdue we are for legislative movement here in Texas. So it's really cool to see the bands and had their take, on the plan.
Well, I remember when Jeremy came on and he's like in a band and he brought his music or gave
we played some of his music. I think
he told me, he was like, "Hey, go watch this Hemp Reporter episode or whatever." Maybe it was still Blaze by then, but he was like, "Go watch this episode," and I put it on. And the song started playing, but it fit with the show so well. But I was like, that sounds familiar. Is that like, what song is that? He's like, it's my song, dude. They put my song on there. I was like, well,
we play a lot of music on our show.
Russell DJs in real time.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun being a radio DJ when I was younger, and I still like having the music. And sometimes we play, my family, my kids have music. Sometimes I play friends of mine's songs. So you were wearing a Dub Eckies.
Dub Eckies.
Dub Eckies is one of Carl's friends. We've had him, his music's on. So sometimes we like to throw the local artist in there. It's we're fans of music. We go to shows here in Austin ourselves, and so we like to mix that stuff up.
And less chance of a copyright strike. Also.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have to always be thinking about that.
Well, the radio station asks me that sometimes. They'll be like, "Hey, is that a song that you have permission to play?" Or mostly they have a license for us to cover that anyway. But when they hear one that they don't recognize, they always ask. I'm like, "Oh no, that's my buddy. He's giving me permission."
Yeah. He's excited to be in there. I'm excited to be in there.
No one hates free publicity.
Okay? But
no one's. I don't think they're gonna come sue you.
We do, I think we do try to make a vibe on the Blazed Weekly News podcast. We put it out late at night. Maybe hopefully everyone's just sitting down on their bed and just
lately what we've been doing is just to recap before we get out of here is just we record Thursdays, but then we usually get it on the YouTube by like midnight Thursday night, Friday morning. So everybody's got it by Friday, Saturday. They've seen it. And so that's kind of what we've been doing. And when are you releasing? You come out midweek, seems like. I put you on the spot. Sorry. No, but you're out all the you come out during the week.
I usually try to do like Thursdays going into the weekend.
Yeah, that's why we've
and then when I post shorts, like I found most of my shorts do better late at night. Like I feel like people are just like chilling.
We need to do more
kids
shorts.
Are in bed.
We need more shorts. I think we don't do enough of those.
Shorts are like little soldiers that go out there and just get
so
attention
true.
for you. Yeah, they recruit. And they never get tired. They never get a sick day. They just they don't have no family drama. Nothing. They're out there working all the time.
Yeah, with the Notorious.tv, I make like long videos that are very like informational, and I've done a lot of digging and research. But then the shorts on Instagram, it's like, okay, I'm going to take this little tidbit. So it's like, even if they don't watch the whole video, at least they know one thing that stands alone.
We do that with our show on Instagram. You know, we always give you a sample. I think you do that as well. Everybody's doing that. We give them 2 minutes. give it a
hooks.
cliffhanger for episode 230 this week or whatever it was, and we give them a 2-minute run. But that helps. That helps too, but we need to do more of those shorts. I think you're right. Little soldiers.
Yeah.
Little soldiers.
And back to what Carl was saying about like the vibe of the show, Carl has really created like this whole kind of environment where to me, I feel like you almost feel like you're like, you know, sitting in a smoky room with like colorful bricks and stuff around, like hanging out.
Where's the beanbag and the lava lamp?
Yeah.
And, you know,
it's the basement. It's like the chill basement.
Yeah.
If you get the music right, it just kind of flows. I think. But
it's a lot of fun.
That was just that. I mean, growing up for me, my dad was a part of AFN in the military, so I was always around radio stations as a kid.
Tell listeners what AFN is.
AFN is a Armed Forces Network, which is the military version of the radio. I think it's still going strong overseas as well. But yeah, man, my dad was always getting me into that. Shout out to our veterans that are, you know, huge supporter of our plant, you know, and
huge.
Yeah. And, but yeah, no, I was just.
So you have media in your blood.
Media in my blood. My dad, he's a natural comic as well, Dan, and just exposed. I was exposed at a young age into the field.
Well, and that's just weird, and so kind of learning that from that, not realizing that about. I know Carl's. I've spoke to Dan before, but that is kind of a trippy trifecta there with the three of us having different skill sets and putting something cool together the way we've done over the years.
What's cool with this show is that Russell's just he's trusts me with the creativity. It seems to be working, so we're having a lot of fun doing it.
We all have a good synergy, I feel.
Yeah. The parties, it's good. We have a little party.
Makes it easier to do 240,
31
episodes.
Who's counting? I don't know.
And there was like a lot of years where it'd be like, okay, we got 31 views, we got 50 views, we got 60 views, and now it's like in the thousands. So consistency.
Well, it's really, when you think back in those early shows, and when we first started, we had minimal gear, and our gear is probably not nearly as fancy as this stuff. But I will say, man, we've grown over the years, and the show's grown, and the technology with it, and our viewers, and when you're able to go through episode 150 to 170, with 300 views, and then you see where we are today, it's just having a passion for doing what you like to do. Totally. You're not doing it always for the numbers.
And not getting discouraged, and giving up.
A lot of people
don't give up. Yeah.
A lot of people quit when it gets tough.
Yeah.
So, well, dude, thank you guys for joining me and making this full circle moment. Like I said, this is the second episode with this many people. How badass.
Well, cool.
Who was your first episode with?
Basil King. The Basil King crew. It was three other folks that sat just like this. They do like comedy short
you got
movies.
The bee. There's something with the bee there.
Yeah,
Blaze.
It's the Blaze. Basil King. All of the B crew is rolling in high numbers into the studio for sure.
Well, shout out to the studio and your friends, and to Paul for having us down here today.
Yeah, Soundshed Studios.
Yeah, Soundshed's really nice in here, guys.
Right here in Austin, Texas. Yeah, if you're a brand, business, influencer, politician, you name it. If you need to film anything and you want to use a kind of cozy studio that we have here, you can use them at Soundshed Studios. They're right here in Austin, Texas. This is their public studio. If you'd like to build something, they can definitely do something custom for you as well. But I love showing Soundshed off to people that also appreciate it.
We really do.
The growers come in here, they're like, cool.
Well, you have a whole tour, right, on your channel.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you can check out a whole entire tour of this place. We're going to do a lot more now that it's all like gussied up and pretty and built out, and so we're going to do a lot. You can check out the tour video. It's an amazing place. And again, like, I don't charge you to come here. I don't make you pay me, or I don't pay you. Like, it's not like that. This is a free platform. It's free, damn it. That's what some people like to say. So if you have a story to tell, come on the Texas Growers Podcast. You don't have to be a grower. As long as you're growing in life or business of some degree, you can come on this platform, tell your story, reach people here in Texas and beyond now, the way that things are going, because all eyes are on us. And there's so many things to come for the Texas Growers Podcast. There's so many things to come for Texas. We have a lot of amazing stuff ahead of us. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest, go get you a copy of Blaze Magazine.
There you go.
For news, counterculture, cannabis, paranormal activity, music, art, you name it. And it's free, damn it. So pick it up at your local smoke shop. They're probably in your favorite retailer right now. So you can go down there, check them out. And you can also subscribe to the Blaze Weekly News.
Yeah.
Also notorious as well for the edgy stuff, if you like that.
Some scandalous,
scandalous,
eccentric, and over the top.
Over the top.
No, I have some stuff planned that's like not cannabis related. Of course, that's been a hot topic now, so I'm really like leveraging that. It's so scandalous and people are into it. But yeah, there's some content coming that's going to be.
I will be linking everyone's shows, social media, websites, you name it, in the description for you. So if you're a brand business out there, you're looking to connect with this crew or myself, obviously we're going to make that super easy for you so you can benefit from this giant community and giant audience that we have here. We're really some of the glue for the Texas community, really. And
you really are.
It's
you
an
are
honor
too.
to be.
You are big time, sir. And think about that column.
Yes, we'll do it. I will do an anonymous advice column. I'll do a complete,
like a Dear Abby,
or something, and just do it completely anonymous and give people unsolicited advice for free on the Blaze magazine. No, seriously, I will. I would love to talk about like marketing, business, media, and stuff on there. And
you can talk about anything you want.
Yeah,
Jeremy talks about growing. You know, if you got experience in that, you got experience in a lot of things.
The whole shebang. I'm made of this. You know, I'm made of it. This is what I do. But
we're happy to have you.
Yeah, seriously, guys, check out the magazine. Check these guys out. We'll link everyone. Stay up to date. This is a great outlet for new breaking news, innovative people in the industry, popular people in the industry. They're definitely a wealth of knowledge for that. If you like everything that you heard today, please comment below. Tell us what we need to talk about next. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Do all the things that you need to do because that's the lifeblood of what we're doing here and what we're building. This is not just my show, it's our platform, and we're proving that it is massively popular and effective, and we love that, and we want to keep building that. So please do your part, click around, do all the things you need to do, and with that, we will see you on the next one.